I recently watched a video on TikTok, and it's this woman and she gives her boyfriend a gag gift to highlight the fact that he hasn't asked her to marry him yet.
You wanna put a ring on my finger? Put it on and make him wanna marry me. Yeah. Put it on and make him wanna marry me. Yeah. Put it on and make him wanna.
Now, these videos are actually quite common. I've actually watched quite a few of them on TikTok, and they have the same theme where it's a couple and they're living together, and it's been many years, and the man still hasn't asked the woman to marry her yet. And so that's what I want to make this video about here. Because in all honesty, it's a hard word, but I have an answer for why your man hasn't asked you to marry him yet. Now look, this is going to be a little tough to hear, but it will give you the answer to your question. He hasn't asked you to marry him yet because you don't know what marriage is. See, the thing is that you have separated the benefits of marriage from the covenant of marriage. And in all honesty, you've given him all the benefits of marriage without the covenant, without the commitment, so he feels no need to commit to you. Now, what do I mean by that? So first, let's go over what is marriage. Marriage is an institution of God, meaning it's not socially constructed. This is not something we just made up and we do, or it's the government, it's their idea. Marriage is God's idea. When a man and a woman come together and they make a lifelong commitment to one another, a covenant, these two different individuals become one flesh, one family. And we symbolize that with the wife taking the last name of the husband to show that the two have become one and now are one family. Now, the benefits of marriage are sex and the ability to have children. And when you take away those benefits and you give them to boyfriend and girlfriend and to civil unions and just friends with benefits, when you separate these, you downplay the significance of it in marriage. And so a person, a man, when he is given all of the benefits of marriage without any commitment, why is he going to commit? Why is he going to make a lifelong covenant if he doesn't fear God, that is? If there's nothing further. I mean, you're already treating him like you're married. You've already given him everything except the ring, everything except the ceremony. You live together, you're having sex, you might even have children. There's no reason for why he feels the need now to go through with marriage. And that's just a simple fact. Now, the second reason why he's delaying marrying you is because of your expectations on the ceremony. Now, wedding ceremonies in our culture can get ridiculously expensive, but they don't have to. They really don't. And I'm going to be honest, my wedding ceremony was ridiculously cheap. And I'm not going to, see, I don't actually have a problem with you spending money on a wedding ceremony. You can. It's a day to highlight, it's a worthy thing to celebrate. But if you don't have the money, that should not be the hindrance. The wedding ceremony is the least important part of a marriage. I mean, you can be married without having a wedding ceremony. But me and my wife, we did it cheap. I mean, first we got married young. I was 21, she was 18. And I can't even remember the exact cost of our rings. I know that I paid less than $100. I think she paid less than $100 herself too. And our wedding ceremony, although I can't remember the exact cost, it was somewhere between $1,000 to $3,000. It was extremely cheap, and that's okay. We didn't look back and say, oh, we really missed out. One of the biggest costs is food for a wedding. We did a potluck. Everybody brought food and we had a great time. And honestly, I don't look back. See, the wedding ceremony, once again, is the least important part of a wedding. That's not what I think about on a day-to-day basis. I don't rewatch reruns of my wedding ceremony very often. Very, very rarely. But the most important part is the person you marry, and doing life with them on a daily basis and growing close to one another. That's what it is. Doing things according to God's ways. So if you really want him to ask you the question, let him know that you have low expectations for the wedding ceremony, assuming that that money is a problem. Of course, if the dude's rich and you know that's not an objection, you probably don't need to say that. But if you know money's tight and it'll be a really difficult to get wedding rings or to have the ceremony, or it'd be a ridiculous amount of debt that you'd be taking on, just let them know that being with the person forever is more important than having being treated like a princess bride for one night. Now, I have some final advice that if you want to do things according to God's ways, meaning you're not going to just do what our culture does, which is just shack up and pretend to be married for a period of time and then you get married 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line, but you want to do things according to God's ways, then here's what you need to do. You need to take the benefits of marriage, that is sex and children, and you need to connect it once again to the covenant of marriage, the lifelong commitment to one another. And you need to put those things together, meaning no more sex, no more living together until he puts a ring on that finger, until he commits to you for life. Now, if you've been living together for a long time and you have children together who are also living in that house, what I recommend instead of moving out is to go speak to your local pastor, tell him, what you now realize needs to happen, and get his advice and counsel so that maybe he can do a quick marriage. So if you keep the benefits of marriage and the covenant of marriage together and you don't separate them, you refuse to live with your man until you marry him, you refuse to have sex with your man until you marry him, and you let him know you don't have these high expectations of a big rock on your finger and a very elegant, fancy, all-out wedding ceremony, he might be willing to marry you a lot quicker. So that's my hope for you. That's the way that you should do it, and I hope that helps.